Can someone explain to me why there are still people who say thank you for your service to veterans? Like, to me, it seems so 2000s, 2010s to me. Like, I did not realize there were people who were still so invested in thanking the troops in like 2026. I mean, we don't do it for any other profession, and many professions are very important for our daily lives. Our teachers, our nurses, people who work at daycare centers, all these are people who have a direct impact on my life or the lives of the people around me in a positive way. But I wonder what people are thanking veterans for specifically, and it seems to suggest that people think of veterans as somehow above these other professions. The other day, I heard someone say, "Thank you for your service," and they had so much love in their voice. Truly, like it was not just a quick thing. They really wanted to make a point of saying, "Thank you for your service." Like this person obviously really, really meant it. Like, I wonder, is it a cultural thing where people see themselves as being part of military culture? So they want to show people who are veterans that, oh, I'm one of you, like I'm in your in group. Like, it just feels like there are some Americans who have their identities so wrapped up with the military. And I'm always really interested in situations where people don't have an obvious logical reason to like something or support something, but they are super, super invested in it anyway. They're super passionate about it because it reflects there is something going on beneath the surface, but it doesn't really have to do with the facts of the situation. It has something to do with their sense of identity, their emotions, their sense of community. So I just wanted to get your takes on why people are doing this and why they care so much about it.
So, right off the bat, let's just say this. Please don't give this woman shit. Because I believe that she's asking this question legitimately and sincerely and isn't coming at it from a place of hate or anger or anything of that nature. So let's just start on that baseline, okay? She's not coming at it from a hateful place. Let's not approach her from a hateful place. Do I thank veterans? Yes. If I see somebody in uniform, or more to the point, I see somebody walking around the store, the restaurant, wherever, with the Vietnam veteran hat, or you don't see him as much anymore, but Korean War, World War II, somewhat, so forth and so on. Desert Storm. I always thank you for your service. We were just in New York, and there were a bunch of ships in New York. For the 4th of July celebration and all the stuff that was going on. And so there were sailors everywhere. You walked around New York and there were hordes upon hordes of sailors. I was saying thank you for your service like I was running for office out there. I never take video of this because it's not for social media content consumption, but if I'm sitting in a restaurant and I see an older couple and he's got the veteran hat on, sometimes I will ask the waitress to bring me the check and just pay it and be done with it and leave. But you asked why. No, it is not that they are above all of these other services, right? I have a daughter who's a nurse. I have a daughter who's a CNA. I have a daughter who's going into her senior year of college to be a high school teacher. There are plenty of very valid jobs, very important jobs that are valid to recognize and that have an impact on our day-to-day lives, like you said. Here's the bottom line for me. Without the men and women in uniform, without the men and women in uniform that are willing to, at a moment's notice, be sent halfway around the world to fight somebody, without the men and women in uniform who, at a moment's notice, are willing to be activated here on our own shores, without them, none of those other positions are possible, right? We live in a free society where we have the ability to be who we want to be and have this impact on our lives by doctors and teachers and nurses and CNA and city workers and all these other careers that are worthy of being respected and recognized as well. However, it all stems from the ability to live in a free society and do those things. And that all stems from the men and women who are willing to put on the uniform, in my opinion, and, if need be, lay down their life for our freedom. It's kind of like that scene from, A Few Good Men in the courtroom where Jack Nicholson goes off. He was being an asshole and a piece of shit, but he was also correct. Deep down inside, you want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. Remember when he said that? Because it's true. Because we do rise and sleep under a blanket of freedom that those people help provide. And so that's why I say thank you. That and the fact that I come from families that have military service, and I understand the sacrifice that goes into that. I understand the dedication that goes into that, and so I want to say thank you. I think that for far too long in this country, we treated people coming back home from foreign conflicts like shit. And we need to show the men and women who are going to be out there protecting our very freedoms that we appreciate the effort that they're putting in. And I don't mean to say this in too rude of a fashion, but I show my doctor my appreciation by that extraordinarily large bill that I pay, or the extraordinarily large bill that my health insurance pays, right? I mean, I show these other people my appreciation in other ways. So often the men and women in uniform are just forgotten about. They're an afterthought. And you have no idea how much they appreciate it when you just walk up and just lean over and give them a fist bump and say, hey man, thank you for your service. Or reach out and just shake their hand. They're not looking for anything other than an acknowledgement of the things that they've done in order for us to be free. The fact that you and I can be on a social media app having this conversation is made possible by the men and women in uniform. That's why you thank them.